Okay, guys, I'm going to try, probably fail, to actually document my process through this video. So I'm sitting in the living room. I'm getting prepared to cut out my muslin. I have to have this dress done by 5 o'clock on the 20th of this month. Today is the 12th. You can do the math for yourself. It's fine. We got this. I had a problem with my lining, so I thought I was good to go. I got all of my material ahead of time. I was on it, y'all. I got the wrong lining. So then I was looking through my stash hub and I didn't have any lining that I can use. I could not figure it out, but I randomly had this lining. I don't even remember where I got it from. I didn't document it anywhere, but I put it in my lining shelf in my sewing room, and it's going to work because I needed a taffeta lining, and I normally don't have taffeta lining laying anywhere. So we're going to use this and see if it works. I hope it does, but we're on a crunch time where I'm going to make it work kind of thing. It doesn't tell me what it is, but the feel of it, I think it is a taffeta lining. But this is our main fabric. I'm in love with it. It is cool. I love it, love it, love it. It's also a double-sided. We're definitely going with this side because me and my daughter's a little extra, but it is a double-sided fabric. So that's what the other side looks like. But we decided we're gonna use this side. So I'm going to eat dinner and then start cutting out her muslin pieces. Yes, I'm making a muslin first because I want to make sure everything fits. And yeah, it's going to be a long week. Somebody say a prayer for this craziness that I put myself through constantly. But I will keep you guys updated. Okay, so I have gotten to the point where I'm ready to cut out my fabric, but let's have a little story time, okay? So I'm working on this dress for my daughter's 8th grade dance. It's coming up on Tuesday. Don't judge me. Y'all see her handwriting. She always want to be people's stuff. Don't judge me. It is what it is. But I'm working on it. So I'm about to start cutting fabric. Let me tell y'all what happened last night. So last night, get home from church, motivated, ready to get to work. Sew the mock-up. Now while I'm sewing the mock-up with the pattern that I'm using, I don't remember the name of the pattern. It's by an indie designer. But the pattern, it seems real nice. It didn't take a lot of work put into it to get it together. So I'm sewing it, and the pattern, it doesn't come with seam allowance. So I did remember to put the seam allowance on my actual pattern, but when I went to go sew it, for some reason, when I started sewing, I had the right seam allowance. Somewhere in the middle of me sewing it, I get it in my mind, my seam allowance is wrong. I even measure it out. I stopped to measure it out. I'm like, well, just maybe I'm wrong. So I switch it up, pull out my seam ripper, rip seams, re-sew it. Takes about 2 hours.
What?
Y'all, I go to try it on my daughter. It is entirely too big. And I start flipping out because what I do not have time for is to do a whole new pattern. I do not have time to try to do all these adjustments. So by this time, because like when I start, it's probably like, oh, I can tell you, when I started last night, what time was it? It was 10 o'clock. So by the time I got done sewing, it's 12:30, so 2.5 hours to do the mock-up. And like I said, that's with me using seam ripper. Try it on her. So we're talking about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm starting this pattern over and I'm flipping out. So before I start trying to figure out where I went wrong, I was like, let me measure out each piece to make sure that this pattern, because I thought I did everything correct. I thought it was good to go. I do that. I measure out each piece. And once I get done measuring each piece, because I measure the bust, the under bust, and the waist, it comes out correct. So I'm like, the pattern is correct. So why is it so big? So then I have this epiphany that I told you I started projector sewing. See, right there, my projector, ready to go. Maybe I didn't have my calibrating square. And I knew I didn't have one, but I was like, oh, it's the mock-up, it's all right. I got to make changes to the pattern anyway. So when I go back in, I'll just put some calibrating squares there. We'll be good to go. So I was like, that's the problem, right? So I get up everything, do the projector. That's not the problem. So by this time, it is 2 o'clock in the morning, and I do not understand what I've done wrong. I had the right seam allowance when I first started. And when I went and seam ripped everything out, it was the correct seam allowance. So when I went back in, just re-sewed everything, it was close to a perfect fit. I had small adjustments that didn't have to do, but I think it would make the dress look so much better on her to do it. Do you know how aggravating it is to redo a mock-up, all because you had it right the first time, but then seam ripped it out to only do it again? All right, so what we're about to do is to cut out this pattern. I do want to show y'all the fabric, so hold on. Heavy fabric. So let's talk fabric, okay? So this is the lining, and this is not the lining that I started with, but this is the lining. I do not know who gave me this, okay? I'm not even sure what the material is. Me and RJ did guessing until what we think the material is, and that it'll work. But this is the lining. I think it's gonna work, but this is her fabric. Now, I'm quite excited about this. I hope she is too, but it is a fabric that, depending on the light, will change colors. We're gonna get to sewing. We're gonna see how this goes. Like I said, I'm excited, but this is gonna be a lot of work. And I still have events that I have to go to for the weekend, such as church and a graduation party. And I have a sick kid. And I have a husband, other children. So let's get to it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.